Hello everyone, MLT Magic Tricks here. So today I'm going to be giving you a performance and tutorial for this really awesome no setup card trick that you should definitely learn. So I would start this one off by having my spectator give the deck a shuffle. Once they are done, I would tell them I'm going to spread through the deck to myself and I'm going to take out a prediction card. So I'm just going to spread through and I'm going to go ahead and take out my prediction. I'm going to keep it face down on the table, and we will get to that later in the trick. But right now, I would have my spectator just call stop anywhere as I deal off cards from the top of the deck. It's up to them. Let's say they call stop right here. I would tell them we're going to get to this packet of cards later in the trick. We're just going to keep these off to the side, and we're going to take the remaining pack and just give it a quick mix up. I'll go ahead and just shuffle up this pack, and I would have my spectator cut this pack in half wherever they want. Let's say they cut right here. I'll tell them we're going to go ahead and mark the cut, and we'll get to that in just a sec. But right now, I would just do a quick recap. I would tell them I took out a prediction card from a shuffled deck. I dealt cards off from the table, and my spectator called stop anywhere. And then they cut the remaining cards wherever they wanted to, and they landed on this card right here, the Five of Hearts. I would show them that, if they cut one card more or less, it would have been a completely different card, but we have right here the Five of Hearts, and this card is going to be very important because it's going to be an indicator card as to what my spectator's selection is going to be for this trick. So we're going to take the other packet here, spread out these cards on the table, and we're going to use the value here. So we have a 5, and we're going to count 5 cards from the bottom of this pack, and that's going to be my spectator selection. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 cards. This is the 5th card right here, as you can see from the bottom, and the card is the King of Clubs. Now, I would bring my spectator's attention back to my prediction that's been on the table throughout this whole trick. I would tell them it's pretty impossible that my prediction is the King of Spades, which is the soulmate to my spectator selection. So guys, that is the card trick. I hope you liked it. If you want to learn how to perform it, make sure you watch the tutorial. All right, so this is a great no setup card trick that should definitely be in your routine. Grab your deck of cards, guys, and let's get right into the tutorial. So to begin, you're going to have your spectator give the deck a shuffle. Once they are done mixing up the cards, you're going to tell them you're going to take the deck back and spread through the cards to yourself to take out a prediction. So I'm going to spread the deck face up on the table and explain what you're going to be looking for in the deck. The first thing you need to do is identify the bottommost card in the pack. In this case, it is the 6 of clubs. You're going to take that value and count that many cards from the top of the deck. So I'm going to count off 6 cards from the top here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 6th card is the 8 of diamonds. In your prediction, the card you're going to take out and place face down on the table is going to be the soulmate to this card, which in this case is the 8 of hearts. So I would be spreading through, looking for that 8 of hearts. I would take it out and then place it face down on the table as my prediction. So there are a couple things that you need to keep an eye out for in the deck that may happen while you're spreading through the cards to yourself. So the first thing that might happen is if there's a face card here on the bottom. So let's say it was like the Jack of diamonds there on the bottom. I recommend just giving the deck a quick cut so you eventually get a number card there, because you technically can have a face card be worth 10, but for the sake of simplicity and making sure your spectator understands what's going on, I recommend you have a value card there. Another thing that might happen is if, let's say, the soulmate to the 8 of diamonds, this 8 of hearts, is one of the 6 cards that's above it here on top of the deck. So pretend you're spreading through, you see the 6th card is the 8 of diamonds, but then, the soulmate to it is one of the cards, that's a part of the 6 here on top. All you have to do is just take out the soulmate like that, and then you're just going to place one card. You're going to replace a card right below it. So that's going to need to happen while you're spreading through the deck to yourself. It won't be that hard to do, but you can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That 8 of diamonds is still in the 6th position, which is what you need for this trick to work. So just keep an eye out for that. It may happen, but if it does, it's a quick fix. And once you have got that taken care of, you're all good to go. So I hope that made sense, guys. It's not too difficult. Practice it a couple times before you go out and perform it to your spectator. But once you get your prediction down there on the table, the rest of the trick is quite easy. You're then going to tell your spectator you're going to start dealing cards from the top of the deck. So what you're going to do is make sure you deal past the number that you had earlier. So we had 6. You're going to want to make sure you deal past 6 cards. So just talk to your spectator, tell them, okay, you can go ahead and call stop anywhere as I deal off the cards here. Let's say they just call stop here. You're going to collect this pack, just place it off to the side, keep it square. From here, what you're going to want to do is get this card, the bottommost card, guys, right to the top. So there's a variety of ways you can do this. In the performance, I just took half these cards. I just did an overhand shuffle, sliding off the card right there to the top, because you're eventually going to be forcing this card onto your spectator. So I like to, do that overhand shuffle. It makes it seem like you're mixing it up. You've got the 6 right there on top. Tell your spectator they're going to go ahead and cut this pack in half wherever they want. Let's say they cut it right here, and this is known as the cross-cut force. It's very simple, but it's quite deceptive. You're going to tell your spectator, okay, we're going to mark the cut, but in reality, you're placing the, this other half right on the top card, which is that 6. But what you're going to want to do to distract your spectator for just a second is give a quick recap of the trick. You can say, okay, we're going to do a quick recap here. I took out a prediction from a shuffled deck. I dealt off cards. You told me to call stop anywhere. We have a random amount right here, and then I had you cut the other pack wherever you wanted to, and you landed on this card. So if you do that little explanation, they'll forget that they're essentially, just marking where the top card is. So I like to do it that way. And also, guys, one quick note, if you are a complete beginner out there and you're uncomfortable, and you just don't know how to do that overhand shuffle here to get that card to the top, what you can do is actually just do the cross-cut force as is right here. Tell your spectator, okay, go ahead and cut wherever you want. We'll mark the cut, do your little explanation, and then all you're going to have to do is just lift up this and show them, okay, you cut right there to the 6. It has the same effect. They're going to forget, what this card was and where it was in the pack. But regardless, force that onto your spectator. Tell them this value is very important. It's going to be an indicator card as to what your selection is going to be. You're going to take the other pack, spread it out, and tell them, okay, we're going to count off 6 cards from the bottom because that's going to be your selection. So you're counting off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You'll see here, guys, this is going to be our 8 of diamonds. It's going to be that card, that was in the 6th position in the top of the deck to start. Your spectator is obviously not going to know that. They're going to think this is a truly random card, and you're going to tell them, okay, so your selection is the 8 of diamonds. I'm going to bring your attention now back to my prediction that's been on the table throughout the whole trick. You tell them it's absolutely impossible. My prediction is the 8 of hearts, which is the soulmate to your selection. It will get great reactions. It's a simple trick, very deceptive, and really has a great ending here. So guys, that is the tutorial. I hope it made sense. Definitely give this trick a try. Let me know how it goes. It's definitely a beginner level. There's really not that much sleight of hand involved. If any, you just need to make sure you nail the prediction at the start when you're spreading through, and the card trick will work every time, as long as you follow these steps correctly. So that's going to do it. Thank you for watching. I will see you in my next video. Peace out.